Guys, and welcome back to the show. In today's video, I'd like to show you guys how to create a custom user model in Django. It's very simple. First of all, we need to create an app called user, because remember that in Django you've got the main project, and inside of the project you've got different components that make up the project. So these components are called apps. Okay, so I can cd into my site. If you followed the first two tutorials, you know what my site is. What we're going to do is to create an app, and the app that we're going to create is called user. We'll configure this user app to use the custom user configurations that we're going to create later on. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to create an app called users. So I'll say Python manage.py start app users. Okay. So as you can see over here, I've got users right here. Now that I've got the users, what I'm going to do is to make a little bit of change inside of the settings.py in the main project and set the auth user model to this user that I've created. So I've got the users here. So what I'm going to do now is inside of the site, right? I've got settings. So inside of my site, I've got settings.py. So for this settings.py, I'll come over here and I'll say that this is the custom. So what I want the custom user settings to be is that I need to tell Django that I'm creating a custom user. So how I do that is basically by setting the auth user model, and I set this constant to the user app that I've just created. So I'll set this to users dot, and the name that I will set here, the next name that I'll give it will be the name that I'll give to the model that I'm going to create later on. I haven't created the model yet, but I'll call it custom user. So I'll say custom user. So I've set the auth user model to users.custom user. Okay, so having done that, what I'm going to do now is to create a models.py file and then make some changes in there, right? If you would like to create a custom user model in your Django project, you need to make it at the start of the project, at the start of the application. If you decide to make it in the middle of the application, that is possible, but it is going to require a lot more changes and it will be much difficult than starting from the start. So it is advised in the Django documentation that when creating a custom user model, you start at the beginning of the project. What I'm going to do now is to go into the user app that I've just created and then create a models. I already have a models.py file. What I'm going to create is create a form.py file, and inside of the form.py file, I'll make some changes there, but I'm not making it now. I'll go straight to the models.py file. And instead of the models.py file, what I'm going to do is to say, is to import the abstract user, which I'm going to inherit everything that the normal Django user has, and I'll add some things to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to say that from Django.contrib.auth.models, what I need to import is the abstract user. So I'll say import abstract user. So I've imported the abstract user class, as you can see over here. The abstract user class, it has a username and a password, right? Those are the required fields. But what I would like to do is to have all of this plus additional stuff that I would like it to have. So what I'm going to do is to say class, and remember inside of my settings.py file here, I called it custom user. All right, so what I'm going to do here is to call it custom user and then pass it the abstract user class. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm inheriting from the abstract user class. Okay, and one thing that I can do is to set up any other fields that I want. So I can give this abstract user or my custom user, I can give it an age field, okay? And how to do that is basically by saying age, and I'll set the age to models dot positive integer, and I'm gonna set the null attribute to true. Then I'll set the blank attribute to true. So now that I've set this, right, I can now go into my forms.py file, and inside of the forms.py file, what I'm going to do is to import the model that I've just created. So from users.model import, I need to import this custom user that I've just created. Okay, so I've imported a custom user, and from Django contrib auth forms, I need to import the user change form and the user creation form. So I'll say that from Django.contrib.auth.forms import the user change form and then user creation form. So the user creation form, as you can see over here, it's got the model set to the user, and that's not what we want. We want to override this, all right, and then set this model to the custom model or the custom user that we've created. So we want to set it this custom to this custom user. So it will have everything that this user has plus the age field, okay? Because we're inheriting from it. So what I can say now is to say class custom user creation form. This will inherit from user creation form. And now I need to override the method class, and this will be the user creation form, the method. So what I'm overriding is this method class that I have over here. So the user creation form, the method is what I pass or what I'm inheriting from. And then now what I can do is I can set the model to this custom user that I just created. And then the fields, I can set the fields to whatever I want. So I can say that I want the field to be this user creation form plus the age that I've created. Okay. Or I can say something like I want the field to be the username, email, age, and password like so. So this age is the additional age attribute that I've added to the module. Okay, so I could have age, I could have bank account, I could have whatever I want, and that could be inherited by by the user creation form module that I create. So now that I've created this, I need to also make changes to the user change form. So I'll say class custom user change form, which also inherits from the user change form. What I need to set class method, the module will be the custom user model that I've created, and then the fields that it's going to have is the user change form dot method dot fields, because I do not want to add anything else. I want it to remain the way that it is. Okay, so that is basically done right there. If I have like a sign up page, this sign up page will have the username, email, age, password one, and then the confirm password, which is the password two. Now that I have this, I now need to let the admin know the changes that I've made. Okay, so I can go into the admin. So I'll say class custom user admin. This user admin will need to inherit from everything that Django has already. So I need to import the user admin from Django. So say from django.contrib.auth.admin import user admin. So I can inherit from the user admin like so. Okay. So now this is done. If I show you here, right, the user admin has got something called add form templates, it's got change user password, it's got something called form, and it's got something called add form. Now, as you can see, the form is basically a variable which is set to the user change form, and the add form is set to the user creation form. But I have created like a new user change form and a new user creation form. So basically, I need to override these fields and then replace them with the fields that I've created. So I need to go in here, okay, and then import the user creation form, the custom change form that I've created, and the custom user creation form that I've also created. So I'll say from users.form import what I would like to import dot form import what I would like to import are these two right here. So I can go to the admin and I'll say I want to import this, and I also want to import that right here. So I've imported these two. So now that I have this, I can say the add form. I'll set the add form to the new custom user creation form that I've created. So I'll set this to this, and I'll also set the form to the user change form, so the custom user change form. Again, these fields are the fields that we have over here. So form and add form, and I'm overriding those fields. Okay. So I have this. Now I need to register the admin. So I'll say admin.site.register. Now I need to pass this something. I need to pass it the module that I've created and the custom admin that I've created. So I need to import the module from .module import custom user, and I'll pass this the custom user here. And then the next thing I need to pass it is the custom user admin that I've created because I'm overriding the user admin. And the last thing that I need to do is that I have this add form. I've got this form. I also need to set the module to the custom user that I've created. Okay, let's make a quick recap of everything that happened. Or first of all, let me just try and run migrations and migrate and see if everything works as we expect it to. Then we can have a recap of everything that went on. I'll come over here, and what I'm gonna do is to run python manage.py make migrations. I want to make the migrations for the users. So I'll run this. Okay, so I made a mistake. That's why you need to make this. The first thing you need to do when you start or when you create an app is to register the app, is to install the app. And that is something that I forgot to do. So I'm going to do it now. So inside of the settings, I need to come over here and then register the users app. So I'll say users.apps.userconfig. So I'll go back to the settings, say user config, and I'll have this here. So now let's try again and then run it. Okay, so now I've created the custom user module. So I now need to migrate. So I can say migrate. So basically that's how you create a custom user in Django. Okay, let's make a recap of whatever we did. The first thing I did was to set the auth user module constant to users, which is the name of an app, and then custom user, which is the name of the model that I would like to create. Okay, then I went to my models, I created a custom user, and it's inherited from the abstract user class. The abstract user class has got username, it's got first name, it's got last name, email, its staff is active, but it hasn't got anything called age. So I wanted to set an age for my custom user so that when a user is signing up, I will ask for the user's age. Okay, so I set up an age field here, which initially null is set to true, and then blank is also set to true. Then I created a form because users need to sign up. And when they're signing up, they need to interact with the model or the user model that Django provides. So I have created a custom user creation form which inherits from the user creation form that Django provides. What I've done basically is to override this model to the custom user model that I've created in here. Then I'm now saying that the fields that I would like a user to see when a user is signing up is the username, email, age, password 1, and password 2. Then I've got the user change form, which is set to the custom user model that I've created, and the field is just the same as the user change form field. Now, what I've done is to change the admin page to the custom user that I've created and not what Django has provided. I've created a custom user admin which inherits from the user admin that Django provides. This user admin has got a field called add form. I've override that with the custom user creation form. Then the form that it provides, I've also override that with the custom change form. Then I've set the model to the custom user. And then I have registered the sites, admin site.register, the custom user, and the custom admin that I've created. And the last thing that I did was to install the Django app. Now, if you follow along the next tutorial, you'll see how I use this to create a sign up page and show the fields that I've just created inside of the user model. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.